Good evening to all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm starting over officially. Welcome to Karmic Dynasty. Woo, breathing. Breathing. I appreciate everyone who is here. I love you all. I have a guest studio here with me this evening. I'm excited. So, now, right quick though, my guest, I know y'all love him too. We love him. He loves us. Ashok Noir. He is here. Now, he is here mostly in an observance capacity, supportive always of Karmic Dynasty, and likewise to him and his platform, ongoing success and greatness, grandness, excellence to him and his platform. At this time, I'm going to share this intro. All right, from my guest, stand by for me. Again, welcome everyone, and my studio guest is here, Sun Ra. Gratitude. I'm glad you're here. Rahul Bet. Gratitude.
Rabat, Ashok, Rabat.
Shook, Rahul Bet. Speak to us. Tell us who you are, where we can find you. Share your excellence with us, your way of opening and
Herschel Walker.
Okay. Rabat, Nefera, Moonra. Let me get rid of this background noise. Ashok Wuhatep, Unawa, Divine Love, Divine Light. Peace, greetings, gratitude, shalom, and all those divine greetings. I go by Sun Ra. You can find me on Facebook at Sun Ra. Find me on Instagram at the_9God. You can find me on TikTok at the 9God. And I'm mainly here, just like she said, in a supportive role, supportive capacity. Because I did not see Dahmer. However, listen, I don't need to watch that. I already know what's going on. I'm going to watch it, but I don't need to watch it because I already know what's going on. It's going to be a show about. I understand who Jeffrey Dahmer is. He's a mass murderer. Blah blah blah. Right. But that also ties into what we we know as the evil gene, right? And we don't believe in coincidence because coincidence and death is an illusion. So why is it they are showing what's the word what's a good word European mass murderers, and then they give you another movie like I was telling you yesterday, Joy. They've been giving you movies and shows like showing European mass murderers, and then they give you a movie called The Evil Gene. You know what I'm saying? They had an all white cast. Then they had another movie called the Devil All the Time. Why is it that these mass murderers are always portrayed as being Caucasoid? Okay, now again, I'm not a racist, to be honest. Only thing I care about is your vibration, because you also have black devils too, as well. Yeah, white devil and black devil. But if again, when you come back down to when you study trends and you study so-called coincidences, it adds up. So I don't want to take over the show, but that's why I want to join, because it does. Dahmer does tie into what's the overall bigger picture of what's going on. Long story short.
Long story short, y'all. I love when he says that. Long story short. Now, I did not mean to. All right. Publicly apologies. I am sharing to my Facebook groups, and I just shared to a group that does not. So I publicly, if I could, I would take that right back. I did not mean to put that in that group. I love us all. All right. So, I'm taking my time this evening. So again, Sunrise here as he is, and when he needs to leave, I'm fully supportive of that. I'm taking my time tonight. Now, earlier today, I was here with Sharice Reed L, a fellow three scribe distributor of the Unschooled Guide that we published. Um, us three scribes, and we shared a movie review on A Party Gone Wrong, and that movie is about cutting up our sisters and taking their organs, kidnapping them, cutting their organs out their body.
Well,
Yeah, we did that earlier. Now, that movie's on Lifetime, so you can watch it free on Lifetime. It's called A Party Gone Wrong. Yes. A Tamahu best friend helped the setup because her boyfriend, who was in prison jail at some time in life, hooked up with this doctor who was in the same status one time in life, and he got his girlfriend to help pick out her black girlfriends, and so yeah, they can cut them open and take their parts out. So these two girls, actually young ladies, they were seniors in high school about to graduate, and they actually lived. So this is based on a real story, true life story. So yeah, we shared that earlier. So we spoke on Dahmer, and also Sharice asked, she also made a point of melanated. She asked a question, do you know of any melanated serial killers? And there was no response from the audience. Now, we did get feedback after the broadcast. So I will be sharing this month in the Halloween series that serial killer, that melanated, that brother serial killer. I will be bringing his story to the platform as well. Now, today I am here to speak on the Netflix series on the Dahmer story. Again, as I mentioned before, to me, this is not the Dahmer story. This is an inch, a fraction, but a big part of our story. This is about how we're affected. That's my approach this evening. So I'm only going to be looking at Dahmer as a reference, like the guy who did it, period. The guy who shouldn't get all this credit and this glory, period. I'm not looking into Dahmer's background, his story, the why, the none of that. It don't matter to me. What matters to me is looking over, okay, looking over some of the background story on the family. And I'm purposely not using the word victims tonight. I'm going to use the term loved ones, their family member. Okay. The loved ones who were lost. My purpose today here is about them, about our fellow brothers who lost their life and or was affected by this gay monster, Dahmer. I'm calling him the gay monster tonight. He's a monster to me. And I say that he's a monster to me because as I watched this movie the past 2 nights of the series, the Netflix series, last night I watched the last 5 episodes. I could not help but to start to feel, even through these actors, some of the family members' experiences when they found out that their son was part of the findings in the apartment or the grounds or wherever house where they were left at. Speaking of the family, yes, respectfully, I'm going to rewind this broadcast a little bit right now. So if y'all don't mind right now, I'm going to have a few moments of silence and respect right now for the family members. Stand by for me. Gratitude. I appreciate you all. Now, this again, also out of respect, I'm saying this. I've seen in the background of preparing for this story that for the Netflix series, for example, all of the family members were not notified before this story, as they start writing it and camera on and recording and all that good stuff. The family for all of these, their family members were not notified ahead of time. So they're looking at this series and seeing and hearing stuff they did not give permissions for. And from also on the story, more of the backstory from the family's point of view, there has been a concern about all of these movies regarding Dahmer, all of these books regarding Dahmer. And it's like people are making money and they're lumping their loved ones into like this, oh, the victims of Jeffrey Dahmer. Like they were not ever alive. Like they were not real people. The focus is not on those who were lost. The focus is on Dahmer. And then they just list the victims and stuff. So today, out of respect of the family and those that are not our brothers who are not here, I'm not referencing names and things like names, and I'm not referencing names because I don't have permissions. And out of what I've seen, and I've never experienced anything like this. This is sensitive to me, but it's necessary to be addressed, I feel like. So this is my position, my stance as I move forward this evening. All right. Now, I am here today to address agendas that are present in this Netflix series. I am definitely going to be addressing, of course, the things that Netflix does not get right when they have a series. I'm going to be addressing what may look like I'm providing a excuse for Jeffrey Dahmer, but it's actually awareness for our community I need us to be mindful of, and moving forward, addressing it and taking care of it so we can not deal with some of this stuff anymore. So for starters, I'm going to start with Jeffrey. I'm going to start right here. I'm starting with the point of view of chemicals. Now, if anybody watch the series, you probably like, oh, she about to talk about the part where the chemical was used. No, I'm talking about the chemicals that they speak of within us, the imbalance, the chemical imbalance. That, to me, honestly, I'm tell y'all how I feel after. I'm not a chemical. To tell me about I got chemical imbalance, I ain't trying to hear it. If with a such thing as a chemical imbalance being real, that is based on the system and their immunizations, their prescriptions, and so on and so forth, which has been displayed in this Netflix series. Now, here's where I'm going with this. As a child, it is depicted in this series and throughout that Dahmer's mother was on her share of prescriptions while she was pregnant with him. Also, one of our brothers that had his life lost during this ordeal. He was deaf. He was not born deaf. He had pneumonia as an infant, and the prescriptions to help him get over pneumonia caused him to become deaf. I do appreciate, I had a moment of appreciation during this Netflix series. During the story of our brother who was deaf, who lost his life, there was silence during parts of his story and interaction. So to give us a point of view of what it's like to not be able to hear. And some things, some gifts like hearing, we take for granted. And then his needing to write out messages, because if he, speaking and communicating, he just wrote a lot, sometimes messages to people. I have had my experiences with people who cannot hear writing me messages and notes, so I'm familiar. But it was the quiet, the stillness around in the Netflix series that gave me more of that, what I take for granted every day. You know what I'm saying? Right now I have Sun Ra has got kicked out the studio. Now, it's not a this person came in the studio, so it kicked Sun Ra. Y'all know that ain't how that worked. It just so happened same time Sun Ra left out, my Siba right here came in. Kepra Patah. Oh man, I appreciate you being here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I see you well. I'm excited. I lost my greeting.
All right, checking.
If you would share with everyone who you are. Welcome to Karmic Dynasty. I appreciate you being here.
I don't know if you can hear me, but I can hear you.
Look, he ain't even guess. Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me, Kepra? Go ahead. Okay, I'm gonna need Kepra to leave out and come back in. Okay, he's gonna do that. All right. So Sunrise here again. He's here.
No idea how intelligent women were.
Can you hear me, Sunrise?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Okay, I'm glad you're here. So, were you saying something?
Nah, I had to come back out because you lost sound, but that was on my end.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so yes, so to get to this part of the story again where it's about us, I need us to be mindful, seriously, y'all, about the prescriptions you taking in while you're pregnant. I need us to be mindful of prescriptions, period. I need us to be mindful because what you have in your system affects you before you even get pregnant. So can we just be mindful of prescriptions? Also, as I spoke on in the movie review earlier, being mindful of what we are giving our children and ourselves when we're not feeling well, when we call it sickness. There are solutions that do not come from the doctor's office and a pharmacy visit. We are seriously affected by this. Also, to go in line with this Dahmer story, we got the crack epidemic. Seriously. And at the same time, to go on and speak on another agenda briefly, just an overview right now. Like I said, I'm taking my time this evening. The uprising AIDS was going on at this time as well. There was a lot of testing being done. There was a lot that wasn't known at the time. There's a lot still that's not known right now. This series seriously bothered me. It bothered me. I have issues with this series. I have issues with this story. I have issues with, as also was spoken on earlier, not knowing where you're at, who you're with, what you're doing with who. And then, yeah, it's your life. But then when you're attacked, when you're harmed, your family is feeling that. They're dealing with that. And then if whatever your situation is, if you're in the hospital, they are the ones who are probably, maybe, I don't guess, sometimes helping foot the bill. They're helping take care of you. I need us to be mindful of our decisions and when we're doing things, how it affects others who love us. I felt a lot of hurt just from hearing, reading, and knowing the small part I know about these stories. Now, right quick, I'm gonna look at this Wikipedia just so y'all can see without going into much of the Dahmer story. I'm just gonna show you, so it ain't like I made it up. So now there is a scene though where, and I'm gonna pull this up too, and I think it was the guy. Yeah, the guy who drank the Sanka coffee. And he was one who survived this situation. And he, when confronting Dahmer, now I don't know about real life, but I'm gonna tell you what I saw on Netflix, and I don't know if anybody else saw it. Of course, I was not there. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what I saw, and I'm gonna see if I maybe get an image. What I saw was on this guy's sweatshirt. Was the word casual. Now, you know probably already that I'm talking about the Casual Killing Act. I thought that was ironic that that guy, after getting away from Dahmer, had on a sweatshirt that had the word casual across it. I'm not right now seeing like I can get to that image to share it with y'all, but you check out the series, you'll see and know what I'm talking about. Now, so right now I'm gonna share, and then I'll go more in. I'm not gonna go into the Casual Killing Act, but it fits, it vibes right now. I'm going to show you this part of the Dahmer Wikipedia, and it actually goes down. Now if you know, he's not living, he's gone. He got killed while he was in prison. So I'm going down to the Dahmer story, and I could have used the tabs at the top. I did not. I am not. My bad. And Christopher Scarver. He is the one who killed Jeffrey Dahmer while in jail. Now, his story, as I looked into it, came where it was mentioned about Dahmer, and I'm not sharing screen, so let me go over and get this right. All right. And in here, and this is where one of my attitudes and dislikes came from, just further disgust. He was after he was it in here? Anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all what happened because I don't see it, but it's in here. When this guy killed Dahmer, one of them people, one of them like police or somebody, told us as a people to not look at Scarver as a folklore hero. And I got offended. Because after watching this movie, I already seen where Jeffrey Dahmer apparently, here it go, right here. Am I sharing this screen with y'all? I am. Let me pull this up. Let me, hold on. Hold up. Where is it at? Because on here it says who said that. And this is where I was about to say. Anyway, right now while I look for that, the thing was, it was being said to not look at Dahmer as a, not Dahmer, Scarver as killing Dahmer as a folklore hero. Now, again, my disgust came because there is apparently comic books and Dahmer is a superhero. And I'm like, how? I mean, there are, of course, strange things out there. There's strange happenings. There's things that's out of control. But how? Well, nobody was standing up saying no. Well, the family members were against the comic books. But other than that, for the most part, wasn't nobody thinking about Jeffrey Dahmer or being extra offensive because he was looked at as a superhero and he had a comic book. But they tell us don't make Scarver our folklore hero. As I said before, like in one of my first videos on this platform, a platform years ago, we will do what we want, when we want, how we want. So we want to have Scarver be our folklore hero. That's what we gonna do. Right now, today, that's what I'm doing. He a hero of mine. Make a comic book about Scarver. How about that? Make him a superhero. Get him a cape, some tights, however we want to do it. It's just disrespectful to me that this guy is killing people, killing our men. Ugh, I'm just not even going to go into that. That's the issue. Eating them. Y'all know the Dahmer story, so I'm not even dealing with it today. Also, right now, I'm going to get at a break because I'm getting worked up. Also, right now, I am addressing the brother that got free to be able to have enough evidence and timing to get Dahmer caught. Because there was someone else who got away, but he couldn't prove anything to get Dahmer arrested and caught at the time. So these two brothers to me are the heroes amongst others, but I'm focusing on the brothers today because a lot of time our brothers don't get credit. So even though this is the form of credit I'm giving our brothers today, I'm giving the credit. According to this movie, Dahmer felt like he could use a weapon and make them be quiet. Be quiet, don't say nothing. These brothers went through their trials and they overcame them. They was calm, like I mentioned earlier. Be calm. When you're in a situation, be calm. You can think better. If these guys were freaking out, they probably would not have the same outcome that they have had. They took time, they thought, and to me, they are the heroes. Again, back to Scarver, who killed Dahmer. From what I saw, he took some time, you know, and then I saw like the guard, not only in the movie, but in the backstory, the guard at the prison was gone for like 20 minutes. So it was like it was set up to be that way. So there is a lot going on in this Netflix series. But as near the end, when Dahmer was in prison and receiving letters from his fans, and he was receiving money from them, and they were asking that he send them like drawings and giving him return. So he was creating a fan base was being created. And I just saw like all kind of madness. Now this is where the madness gets in with me at. Because yeah, you do have girls, you have people, because it was men writing Dahmer too. It was men in there supporting him too. As I mentioned earlier, they are studying us. So when they are high-fiving Dahmer, job well done, casual killing act. I shared Frances Cress Welsing earlier speaking about the whites. Speaking on the survivals of the white people, their fight to stay alive. Our brothers were the focus of that section of the Frances Cress Welsing lecture that I shared earlier today from a YouTube video. And the thing is, as she was speaking on, it's our brothers who are filling up the prisons. It's our brothers who are being snatched out of the homes, so the families are no more in existence as before. And our downfall as a people are happening because of the attack on our brothers, the attack on our men. With less of our men being here and in our communities, there are less of them that are out there able to mix in with the white people to further lower their survival rates. So to me, I don't care what Dahmer's POV is. Oh, he liked them because of how they looked. They were attractive to him. No, he didn't target them because they were black. He liked white men too. He liked Asian men too. He liked Native men, Indian men too. You know what? There are some people in the Dahmer crowd, the supporters, they didn't see none of that. All they saw was another one of them black men gone. Oh, another one's missing. They wasn't looking at the missing posters. Of course, they wouldn't notice that. But when the story hit the news, and for example, it would go like, oh, we found remains of 6 bodies, 4 of which were of a black man. I could see the tallies going up in the white crowd. The Dahmer followers who are like, yeah, another one of them gone. Another nigga gone. Oh, Dahmer got another. Oh, he got most of them. Dahmer got rid of all them niggas. He is their hero. But then to tell us we can't have a hero because one of the brothers actually took that motherfucker out of here, took the gay monster out. And according to the Netflix series, unlike this gay monster who wanted to give himself credit for giving medications, for drugging, doping those that he killed, they didn't feel nothing. Before Scarver killed Dahmer, he let him know, oh, you're going to feel this, though. You're going to feel this. Now, where the sad ignorance comes in at on Dahmer's part that irritated me, and it's so insensitive. How do you know none of them people felt any pain? He didn't ever go through none of them things. Nobody experimented on him, and he lived to tell about it. And or put those notes in his findings to make adjustments to be sure that those things were not felt by those people. Taking a drill and drilling a hole in the back of somebody's head, all because they drug. Well, how do you know that? Did you experience it? Did he experience it first? No. How did he know pouring boiling water through that hole into somebody's brain area was not painful? I listened to his dad tell him when he taught him very young how to do such things. That, was it a frog? I don't know. Watch the series. If somebody here watched it, they'll tell me. I'm telling you right now, I don't remember the specifics, but he said that this trial was done and the brain, except for the stem, was removed. And then they did something to that part of the stem, and the animal reached up to swipe, like to move the item that was causing them harm. Although the part right before that where they took away the brain, they can't feel it. So if they can't feel it, then when you did the next step on the stem, why were they swiping at it to remove it? To me, that just don't make sense. Why would you swipe at something that you don't know is bothering you, can't feel nothing? The last 2 nights, my sleep has been heavy. I also had some type kind of feeling about the neighbor. The neighbor in this series, she lived right in the Dahmer's neighbor in the apartment that he lived in, where he was caught, where he lived at when he was caught. Her, to be on the other side of the wall and hear so much, and then to report things so many times and just to be ignored. And the times that she stepped in, we'll talk about that later if I get to that. If y'all care, go watch it yourself. I'm not here to really retell this story. I'm here for us to learn something. This is not for entertainment purposes. My platform's not, and I really feel like this Netflix series is not. Then for the neighbor to find out what was going on over there per the news and the parts of the police report and per the parts that she heard from family, and to know, I'm just putting myself in that situation. I do that a lot. To know that on the other side of that wall, all this stuff was going on, and I was sitting right here hearing it, then I'll be thinking, what could I have done to help? What could I have done? That'd have been me. It would have hit me real hard. I'd be feeling bad for stuff that I even was nowhere near. And then I'm sitting up by thinking of I'm sitting by personally thinking, because Dahmer's reminded me of this guy that lives next door to me. Actually, that I've expressed a concern about a time or two. Now, I wouldn't take it as far as the Dahmer situation, but I've had my concerns about this guy next door. Tamahu also. But and that like one of the center points of this movie is that smell. What is that smell? He couldn't be my neighbor. And that smell keep going on. Because I've been amongst that smell before. Somebody, it was natural causes that person was gone. And the building still heard from me. Building management heard from me. Yes, neighbors got together. We talked about it too. You know, death penalty. The Glenda, I think that's the neighbor's name, the sister's name in this Netflix series. She lived next door to Dahmer in the apartment. It is said that her daughter and a friend saw a 14-year-old boy running up the hallway naked, etc., etc. Glenda, the mom, got involved, covered the boy up, called the police. Police came, escorting back into Dahmer's apartment, to later find out that after all that concern for that boy was expressed from me, let's say from me, from Glenda, the neighbor, to express all that concern for a child, because I've expressed concern for children before, to later find out harm came to them anyway. So what y'all didn't do anything? You didn't hear me? The child ain't, and to hear what happened to the child. Crazy thing is that child, his brother was an earlier victim, or someone used the word victim. Dahmer harmed his brother prior to him. So that family got hit twice. Politically, there was a lot of political issues in this, but there's political issues in life, period, huh? The police in that area, Milwaukee, the total disregard for life, but that's their makeup, huh? That evil, that DNA, that evil DNA, that evil gene. I think that's this movie Sunrise was speaking on earlier. The evil gene. Sunrise was on a live broadcast on Facebook last night, and I called it the steal, kill, and destroy gene. So they're out to steal, kill, and destroy. So how offended could I be by what they're doing? But I can definitely be offended by the position that they are given. Some people actually trust the police is there to assist them. I need us to work on that belief system. I also need us to work on the thought that we need the police. Just handle it yourself. That's where community comes in at. That's where Tribe Up comes in at. Handle this situation. I was watching the movie, and when Glenda was concerned and she kept sharing concern about Dahmer and the noises and the screams of the men coming from his apartment, I'm like, look, for me, but it wasn't me. And again, it's a movie. It didn't fully tell her story. For me, I've been like, look, me and some of these other women in here who are sharing concerns with building management about the smell coming out of that apartment and everything XYZ, we're going to get together. Next time I hear that noise coming from that apartment, we, us sisters, we going over there together to handle that. Otherwise, for me personally, I wouldn't want to hear none from another one of them sisters about a smell. I don't want to hear no complaints, no concerns. Can we go over there and address that? That's my position. Bang on the door, kick the door down, and deal with it later about who we heard in there screaming and asking for help. The police weren't coming. But you know, it's hindsight. Everything is a shoulda, woulda, coulda at some point. I know me personally, it wouldn't have happened like that. But of course, everybody different, every situation different. Everybody handles something different. But again, the grief she must have felt, a level of responsibility to see all those families in court, to hear their stories on the news, to be in that atmosphere at the time. Oh, the pressure on that sister's shoulders had to be unreal. Unreal. How do you measure that level of pressure? But we're strong. Our men are strong. There is an uprising amongst our men that is coming. It's going to come, of course, on an unexpected approach. I fully support our black men, our men. I said black men for purposes. I support our brothers in the uprising. Seriously. There are so many things we could be doing, we need to be doing, we should be doing to help our brothers, our men. And we are here. The sisters are here. We support y'all. You going through something, you might not be yet in contact with a sister who can help you. But take your time. Take care of yourself. And continue to reach out where you can, when you can. And at least one of us will be there. I'm here. So if no one else, you contact me. So to not never say no one was available or there to support you, you can contact me. Here go my information in the ticket. Our brothers, they're my heroes. Some people got this gay monster as their hero. All that, they got to have something. That's why they whitewash our story. They got to have something. They don't want to look all bad out in public. So they'll continue to steal stories, whitewash them, so they can feel good about themselves publicly, so they can keep the facade and appear to rise themselves to be the bar. We are actually the bar. But all they know how to do is imitate. The Tamahu will never be us. They'll never be as great as us. They will only continue to imitate us. That's all they have. They have no story. Speaking of further again on politics, Jesse Jackson. I was surprised to see him portrayed in this series. But once I got over the shock of Jesse Jackson portrayed in this series, in this storyline, I wasn't really too surprised though. I was glad to see that the community had what seemed to be an impressionable figure there for them. It gave them hope. It gave them something to hold on to in that time where there was much suffering and turmoil. Not everyone that goes through something amongst us has that type of support to know, to live, it will be all right. We all have our different terms of hope that we hold on to get through moments. And despite how I feel about Jesse Jackson and his position in this world, I know that there was enough going on at that time that he helped, just his presence helped somebody get through another day. So regardless of anything I ever thought about Jesse Jackson before, I respect him for being there. I respect him for showing up, because the police chief wasn't showing up. He was too worried about his new position. There was definitely the police force at that time, which is not much more different than anywhere else. The neglect of the police department is real. Now, how much of it, what portion, what percentage of the police department is crazy, is left to be questioned at all times. But I know you watch this series, you're going to be disgusted by this police department, their representation when it came to the 14-year-old boy that got away, but then was led back into the apartment and then killed. It is madness. There are stories like this going on. There are stories every day. Every day there are stories. Some of them don't even get reported or story told because the person's just missing. Cold case. Body never found, never a trace. We don't know. This series right here, for me, my concern is on the side of the families of these events, these situations, because one of their concerns has been their loved ones that were lost in this madness being glossed over, summarized, put in a victim category, and not focused on and or looked at. They were real people. So I really just would like for us to know that we should be more focused on who we are and not looking at events and things that happen on the TV as entertainment. I think it's a total disrespect for those that go through things, those who are lost or harmed in situations, and the supportive family member, friends, and loved ones to just gloss over a situation, because then it just becomes entertainment And then now I furthermore can see why a lot of where we're at as a people exists. The gay agenda, as I spoke earlier, I didn't share that part of Frances Cress Welsing's lecture earlier. I'm not going to share it now, but I'm just saying she said that all these agendas, the bisexual, the gay agenda, however, wherever you want to call it all, she spoke on it. And it is actually here. She said it was coming as here. How many more agendas are going to be added, layered on top of what is already here? How far down underneath do we have to be before something better happens? On Facebook the other day, which I'm very familiar with, somebody said they were making a point and they said, go Google gay frogs. So as I started out speaking today, the prescriptions, the immunizations, the food, our men are being attacked. Our boys, before they become men, are being attacked. This is a biological attack. It's an attack on our people. I don't know about Dahmer. I don't know him, so I can't speak on him. I'm not even going to speak on what they may attempt to portray when it comes to him. All I know is, I don't know if he gay or not. I don't know. Some people will look at it like he used the gay scene, the clubs, the spots where the brothers were at, who lived in amongst the gay lifestyle. Somewhere it's not helping that Dahmer's face and his acts are attached, associated with the gay community. It creates further horror stories. And horror stories create fear. They're used as scare tactics. So, despite our boys being attacked, and Google gay frogs becomes an event, Google gay frogs. There are some unnatural occurrences going on. And then our young men, our boys, they don't know how to address what they're feeling. They don't know how to express what it is they want to do. They don't know who to express it with or in front of, or if to express it at all. Because of hate crimes, because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of support. I am here. You need someone to speak to? Contact me. I know a good network of people. If you just want to contact me to see and know who to speak to, do that. You ain't got to speak to me. You just want to know where you can get some reference resource, somebody to speak to, contact me. I ain't got to know it's for you. You could be anonymous. Contact me. We don't have time for this. We don't have time to be shaming our brothers. They're being bred, manufactured. Again, they are studying us. how to further bring us down. And despite our strength, they continue to try to tear us up, divide us. And to me, it's unacceptable. Looking back on the issues, also speaking on us women, looking also again on the issues that was presented in this Netflix series of Dahmer, what I picked up, I interpreted women issues for Dahmer very early. In our homes, in our lives, children are seeing at-home situations that are not healthy at all. Those unhealthy environments combined with the immunizations, combined with the prescriptions, combined with the food, they're not helping. We need to work on seriously. And a lot of people, they can't work on something they don't know is an issue. There's a lot of people who are violating their children, but somehow they don't know it's a violation. So they don't know to stop it. There's a lot of awareness in our community, in our homes, that needs to be recognized before they can be addressed. A lot of us have mental issues that are affecting our children and our future. So in the household, the relationship with the mother is not productive. It's not healthy. And then those of us who send our children to school, the next woman they come into contact with, such as in Dahmer's case, this gay monster, would be a school teacher. As portrayed in this series, the school teacher, for whatever reason, seemed like simply just rejected, she rejected a gift Dahmer gave to her. A little boy gave her a gift. She turned and gave it to another little boy. Depending on who you're dealing with, know your audience. Not intentionally, but that is heart shattering. That is mental devastation, deterioration. I've heard, and I think it was Denzel Washington I heard say it. A boy's first love is his mother. I don't know. I have one son. I have yet to even have that conversation with him, so I don't know if I'm his first girlfriend. You know what I mean? I don't know how that. Maybe one day we might. I don't know how my son gonna communicate that, but in the event where your mom is your first true real love, and she breaks your heart because she at home yelling all the time and not sharing no attention with you, or she passed out on the bed because she's near ODing, or just drunk high, ain't concerned about the welfare of her child. But then a teacher at school is over your shoulder helping you correct something on your paper, or smiling at you when you come in the classroom, etc., etc. You raised your hand, she picked on you today. She called your name, you got to answer. That's a highlight for a little boy somewhere, and that's his new girlfriend. Little boys' hearts get broken. I'm just saying. We must be mindful of our expressions with our children, other people's children. We must be. I mean, you ain't got to, but to me, if you're not, it's unacceptable. And I have a few people that already crossed my path and found out how you communicate with children is unacceptable. And I addressed it with no issue. And I will continue to do so. No effort. I worked, but here from my past is a situation I might share too. I'm going to share at least this one. I'm going to share two, both at the same daycare. And that was like 20 years ago. There were children speaking of prescriptions and drugs, children being given Robitussin after lunchtime to help them go to sleep at nap time, right after lunch. I reported it. And it was a church daycare. So not only did I report it to the daycare director, I reported it to the police. I reported it to the news station. I was on the news for that too. I've been on my share of news stories and newspapers, articles. And I even went as far as reporting it to the pastor of the church. Oh, I'm letting everybody know. So don't come around me with no fuck shit. This is a parental advisory content. I already got it up there. Don't come around me with no fuck shit. Another time, same daycare story. A child, probably three or four, was out on the sidewalk on the main. The building was on a main street, major street. Child, I looked out the window, just walking up the sidewalk. I'm like, and one of their siblings was in my class. I was a daycare teacher at the time. So I know they parent came in and picked them up. So that thought went out the window right quick. I didn't even bother looking for the mom. Maybe she was a few steps ahead or behind or something. I went out there and grabbed him, brought him in, took him to the room where the teacher who was supposed to have him, let her see his face. I got him. He's safe. How you didn't know he wasn't in here? Took him, didn't leave him in her care. Took him to the daycare director, and again, steps, called the police, and I let the pastor of the church know. Now, how anybody will get an attitude in me? They did, because I told the pastor of the church, but hey, this the pastor. He leading the flock, right? I think he might have would want to know that, more news reporters going to come swarm down on his church. Because there's a child walking outside on the main street. I'm just saying. If you about to get sideswiped, would you want somebody to give you a warning? I just thought I'd give him a warning. He's about to get sideswiped. Little shadow on his church. Now, that church didn't last too long after that. Anyway, or that daycare. Of course, or that daycare. I'm telling. I'm snitching. I done told y'all before, I'm snitch. I'm telling on y'all, I'm telling. Now, there were some clips I was going to show, but y'all watch the series and do your own studies. Now, the reason I decided not to share clips of the trial and other things is because, as I mentioned earlier, not all of the families were notified that the Netflix series was happening. They found out, when everybody else found out publicly that this series was premiering. And they watched to see curiously, what are y'all telling now? What are y'all selling now about this gay monster story? What book y'all got? What movie y'all? How many movies y'all got to do? And the one family member's sister She saw herself being portrayed. She's like, oh, the girl got my same hairstyle. Oh, the same sweater I had on that day. It's enough blindsiding going on. These people have endured enough and some. I'm not here to get what they call that? I keep forgetting that word. The word when clickbait. I'm not here for views. I ain't here clickbaiting people. I ain't doing none of that. This movie is this broadcast actually. This what I'm doing today. This Karmic Dynasty standpoint today is not for the general public. It's for us. We're having a meeting right now. Everyone's in attendance. I've been writing down names, attendance. We're all here. Everybody who's in a speaking and sharing capacity, they are speaking in the comment section. They are sharing. I appreciate everybody's involvement and participation. I appreciate Sun Ra on the panel keeping me company up here. Now, one thing of total disgust and disrespect, besides telling us who our heroes can be, was, let's go back to Glenda, the neighbor, her story. She had a daughter. We talked about her briefly. There were, after Dahmer was arrested, there apparently was the people outside want to take cameras and stuff, like it's a tourist attraction. And in the series, we see a group of boys, Tamahus outside the building doing whole knife throat cutting, slicing scenes, and they was taking pictures with the camera. Glenda was coming around the corner with her daughter. Her daughter, they was like, are y'all serious? What are you doing? Get out of here. This is not, fun and games. Some people died here. And Glenda's daughter took the camera and smashed it and assaulted the guy. I don't even remember the assault, but when the police showed up, I think the word assault came out of their mouth. Like, she just was the worst. And these same police, I guess they got some training or something. Because back when her mama Glenda was calling the police all the time because the gay monster was around the other side of that wall harming people, they never came. They didn't come like they should have been there. But her daughter smashes a camera and they show up at our door. Just hold on, you gonna show up to get her for smashing the camera, but you could never show up to come get this monster. And I'm hearing drills and saws and screams for help all through the night. That part of the movie just messed me up a little bit more than I was already like, this movie, this series is crazy. This is real life events, only in part that I'm seeing. But the police were seriously like Johnny on the spot because this sister smashed the camera. And of course, in honor and in respect of the family and those that lost their lives in that building. I mean, come on. Now, for those who are right and exact and specific, yes, she smashed the camera. Okay, well, that was a crime. She didn't raise the, okay, whatever. Point is, the police is trash. The police is jacked up. That's my position. Karmic Dynasty, I don't care, y'all's trash. You hit by association. You hit by affiliation. What the hell? And then just to know, the 14-year-old boy, I'm going back to his story right quick. The police escorted him back in Dahmer's apartment. He got killed. These two police officers with all their gay jokes, and it was portrayed actually that them being homophobic was the whole one of the reasons that they treated that 14-year-old's case as they did at the time while he was still alive. When they showed up at the scene, they was homophobic. They didn't want to see no gay stuff or in Dahmer's apartment, so they really didn't look and search. They didn't want to catch AIDS. They needed some training. So that police department should have definitely went under some type of training. And then because of the child's nationality, they neglected, they failed to look out for his safety. They were not concerned. He was a joke. Even the gay monster was a joke to them because they talked about apparently after they left in their squad car, police car, about being deloused. Oh, we need a shower. They ain't even go in the apartment. They stood in the doorway to my, oh, we gonna catch something in here. You got something in here? You know, that gay stuff. There's still some police around today, just like that, just problems, just people being victimized and all kind of stuff because the police don't want to look into a situation thoroughly. And also come to find out if they had even looked up Dahmer's name, called it in, however they find out if somebody got a background. They didn't even do that, or they would have got the report back that Dahmer actually had a prior case on a child, which was that 14-year-old's brother. That judge felt compelled to keep it under wraps and not share publicly, put on his record what it is he did to that child that got him in that case, that record, that jail time where he was on work release after victimizing, harming a child. It was just all these loose ends. And it seemed like definitely Netflix was portraying that Dahmer got all this white privilege. Despite his drinking record, despite his dad telling, he's an alcoholic, he got issues, despite all these claims against him and looking at his lifestyle and his surprisingly honorable discharge from the military and all some other stuff, Netflix, I definitely did not appreciate at all how they was just like blatantly in the viewers' faces, in your face. These black men got killed, yep. Little brown boys got killed, yep. You know what, Dahmer, said the judge, you remind me of my grandson, and he once was an alcoholic, but he cleaned up his life and got a little car shop or something. I think you deserve another chance. While the family is over here in tears and devastated, and the whole white privilege thing definitely was portrayed in your face for the viewers. Definitely. Netflix, I'm about tired. Netflix, I'm about done with Netflix. If I'm going to do a movie review, it ain't going to be a series review. It ain't going to be that. Not Netflix. Not Netflix. I ain't messing with Netflix no more. This is seriously. They are in charge of what they portray in the media. They are in charge of the viewpoint that they are expressing. Like I'm in charge of mine. Okay? And then it wasn't even, I don't even remember when I canceled my Netflix. I was using somebody else's account to watch this. You know what I mean? Somebody. Done. So we're responsible. As I said, Netflix responsible. I'm responsible. Today, I am here and I'm about done. I'm doing my best to not give Dahmer a bunch of credit and space and energy on my platform. I don't do too much of that around here. I'm here to speak on us, address our concerns, our matters, have us look at things in another direction, and take steps to better us. Tonight, I came here to honor, to bring honor, respect. The support and love I would have given at the time, I'm sharing that now in this energy expressive form to the families. And I am here to recognize our heroes. So I've done all of that. What I'm not going to look into that I had planned to share and show is the comic books, because Dahmer was their superhero. I'm leaving that out. The memorial that they were going to put into the park. Hold on. The apartment that Dahmer lived in when he got caught. There was a demolition of the building done, just an empty lot. And some of the people of that area were looking for a memorial, a park, to remember those who lost their lives, those who were in, however they will put the memorial, they are using the term victims for the victims. That is definitely something that did not happen. Has not happened. And according to what I've seen, and for years, of course, it's been on the table, yet to be done. I'm going to be looking further into this, I promise you. And I'm going to be seeing what's up. Because other than doing some study and or watching this series, some of us, we can't even tell you the name of one person. You tell me one, tell me two, who lost their lives. But the only name most of us can definitely recognize is Jeffrey Dahmer. A name in the comment section right now would be great. A name of somebody who lost their life. Jeffrey Dahmer took their life. Jeffrey Dahmer harmed them, but they got away. Todd Hughes. Gratitude. I appreciate this. I said I wasn't sharing any names. Tracy. Yes, Tracy is the one who got away and was able to get the police there with enough information to where they looked into the apartment and Dahmer was caught. Before the series, I didn't know his name. Actually, before the series, yeah, I just was like one of them general people, which the family does not, which is an issue for the family. Their loved ones being lumped up into the Dahmer story, and you walk away not knowing one of their names, not remembering, but you definitely walk away knowing the gay monster's name. Issues. The number of books that have been written, the number of stories, movies, and we can't get the name. Todd Hughes was the deaf man's name. Deaf man's name. Okay. Oh no. I don't remember that much like that. I remember Tony. Okay, so I need us to refocus. I need us to be looking at things in other manners. I need us to be doing better. These whole Halloween vibes I addressed earlier, I don't do the holidays. I don't. What I will do during this time is work on redirecting this energy where people want to be on this solemn repeat shit every year, coming about 29 days ish, dressing up in the meantime around there, going to parties and stuff. These jack-o'-lanterns popping up on people's front porches, skeletons in their yard. The people that have come up missing before this year, I need that number to be 0 this year and every year after that. That's what I need. That's what I'm speaking on. To be mindful and look out for things. Don't be so distracted by these costumed events and these facades that you don't see what is really happening in front of you and around you, amongst you and or yours. The skeletons, for example, in the people's front yards, the skulls, you know, some people, they got skulls on their altars. It's an everyday life thing for them with their ancestors and things. Don't take things for granted. Seriously. For those of you who didn't know, and definitely something you can look into. It's on the Wikipedia article that I shared earlier. I'm not going to show that here. But there was in Dahmer's plan to have an altar built in his living room. And he was going to sit in a chair in front of it like a throne. And it is going to be made up of the skulls that he took from people. He took, you know what I mean? He took that. They didn't give him that. He took that. Yeah, Anthony Hughes was the name. He took the skulls. He got these people's parts, whole full skeletons. He was going to build an altar. An altar. So while y'all at these haunted houses and all this stuff, you just might sadly, crazily be around some actual real bones, remains of people. Because people's crazy like that. Apparently, it's crazy like that. Based on, and I'm about to sum this up. Based on what you know what? I have already picked out who I am going, what stories, what killers I'm going to be focused, sharing about this month in this Halloween series. Now, I did not know that John Wayne Gacy was going to be spoken of in the Dahmer story, Netflix story. So when I get to his part, it's not a continuation based on the Netflix. I'm not following Netflix. It just is that way. So I'm going to share his story. Whatever else I have left to share about Dahmer, because where them two is related, I see their stories relating. I will share that about Dahmer in that time and space to get more into him and those two, Dahmer and Gacy at that time. I'm not going to speak no more on Dahmer today. I've spent enough of my last 2 days watching this series to bring this PSA here / movie review. And I have, as of again today, with being here earlier with Sharice Reed L and her asking the question of a melanated serial killer, I am bringing a story based on that. So that is off of my original planned path. So I am reconstructing my calendar and my schedule to bring these stories here for my Halloween series, the Karmic Dynasty Halloween series. This is part 1 of 4 that you are watching now. I appreciate everyone. The prelude was earlier today, and that broadcast was with Sharice Reed L, and it was in terms of organ harvesting and our sisters, us women, us melanated women, and the movie / movie review called A Party Gone Wrong. You can watch it on Lifetime channel for free. And at this time, I am leaving you all. I've said all I need to say. And I'm about to look at this last comment. Oh, Kai, you're great. You are right. It's okay. Water the plants is all right. I appreciate you, Kai. Kai is my BFF, if y'all didn't know. Kai Creatures. I love her. All right. I love you all. Thank you again for your time. I appreciate Kepra Patah, that Siba coming in here, sharing his time with us. There were connection issues, but he definitely accepted the invite, so I appreciate that. And my invite went out to Sun Ra, and he got kicked out of studio. He actually is here again as I'm wrapping up this evening. Sun Ra, would you like to address the audience before we leave? Or is there anything you want to share? I don't know if I over talked you, just didn't get a chance. I got time if you got time.
No, it's all good. I appreciate that. I was sitting here, I'm learning. I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? So that was very interesting.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that was very deep, very detailed. So my brain's still kind of like, yo, wait a minute. That's where I'm at. Right. That's where I'm at with it right now. Trying to process.
Yeah.
Because that was deep. I appreciate that. I'm gonna rewatch. I'm glad it's gonna be on YouTube so I can rewatch this.
Yeah, it's on my Facebook, Joy Ishram. I'm broadcasting, and my Facebook group, Karma Did What. I'm broadcasting there right now, and definitely broadcasting on my YouTube channel, Karmic Dynasty. Yes.
Okay, good. I'm gonna rewatch that.
I do my best not to do any spoilers, because there's a lot of people who've not watched this yet. So yeah, I did my best not to spoil the movie for everybody, the series.
I appreciate that. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
Black Panther 2 coming soon. Your Black Panther 2 breakdown coming soon. I said Black Panther 2 breakdown coming soon, hopefully.
When you mean when the movie come out?
Yep.
Oh, definitely. I was thinking about that a few days ago. Yes. Oh, I can't spoil the truth. That's what's up. Yeah, I didn't. It was just I'm really also being mindful of the families. And so to get into all that with some called horrific details and all that, y'all go find out for yourself if you didn't know. There's a lot I didn't know. I had no idea, which what I was going to share earlier, and I must have skipped over that thought right quick. I had no idea that this was what the Dahmer events were. None. Yeah, I heard his name. I heard he was some scary guy that did some stuff. I don't know. I couldn't have told you specifically to. It's just there's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot that has went on, a lot that will, and then we have our own lives and selves to manage. There's a lot, a lot. So I'm glad I looked at the series. I learned a lot. There's some things like Kai that I will not be watching though. After that Netflix series, but yeah, it's definitely a learning opportunity.
Hey, real
Sunrise.
quick, can I say something?
Yeah, I was about to say, you want to share anything else with us?
Yeah, there's another show on Netflix. Definitely a big change in topic, but there's another series on Netflix that just came out called The Brave Ones. And what I'm noticing on Netflix, what they're doing, they're dropping a lot of African produced shows. So I think it's important that we also got to support these shows that are produced in Africa with all African casts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now this one is called the Brave Ones. It's an African produced show. And it's about a Nubian woman who discovers her powers. So it's like kind of like a superhero show, but from an African perspective,
Oh,
which should be interesting. I'm
actual
still,
superhero.
huh? Huh?
That's what's. Go
What'd you
ahead. My
say?
bad. I said actual heroes. Yes,
Yeah,
not like
yeah. So
comic
yeah,
books. So watch that.
yeah, yeah. So yes, please check this out. We are big on talking about the European Marvel and DC and all the black and all these whitewash superheroes. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
But
the
we got to
serial
support
killer superheroes with their own comic books.
with their own
Yeah,
comic book. Yeah, right. So let's tap into um our superheroes. You know what I'm saying?
that's right.
So the Brave Ones family, it's called The Brave One on Netflix. It's a series. Check that out. All that time you spent watching the white man shit. Check this what they dropping coming from essentially our perspective because those are soul beings as well. Long story short, and real quick is what's so interesting. I'm watching this. I'm sorry to ramble, but real quick, I gotta get it
Good.
out. But
You
I
take your
know
time.
that that sorry, a lot of these Africans they like us. I'm talking about some of the physical features. Pay attention to that too when you're watching a lot of these actors, these African actors. It's astonishing how they literally look like us too. Long story short,
Hmm.
so yeah, check that right. So
Well,
long
you
story
know
short,
what?
I shook. Huh?
Yeah, right quick. When it comes, speaking of they look like us, I know I'm not the only one, but I'm going to share my story in brief right now. I have definitely been asked by Nigerians for sure, some Nigerian men, if if um if I was from where I was from, and I told them I'm from here, and then they tell me they look like I look like an aunt of theirs or a family member, a woman. And I'm like, okay. They be like, for real. I ain't trying to just talk to you and just be, I'm telling you. And I'm like, okay. And then they bring me a picture. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, what you're saying right now about how we look alike and stuff, I've definitely experienced that feedback personally. And I've seen it. I've seen the pictures where some of their family members look like we look alike, like family. Yep.
I shook. So check that out. Joy, definitely, please watch that. Please, I would love to get your eyes on that. Support. Let's support African production, Black economy. Blah 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 blah. But I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta keep it pushing with my evening. Thank
All
you for
right.
inviting me to the. Thank you for inviting me, and I'm excited for your future shows. And on that note, I shook. Netflix, Moonrod, and Grand Evening. Divine love to y'all.
We appreciate you being here and your time. And definitely, Sun Ra has some interviews and things he has been taking part in lately as well. So I would ask that you find some time, get the time, and look at his YouTube channel, go to his Facebook page, and see more of what he has right now that he's taking part in. He's very busy, very active, and always great things going on with him. Excellence. Excellence, he is. Yes, the Black Panther movie review he mentioned, I am definitely looking forward to watching that movie and giving a review. I'm interested definitely in seeing if what I, speaking on forecast today, if what I forecasted and revealed for the Black Panther movie is what will happen. So I will definitely be doing a comparison of my own thoughts, forecast review with the actual movie, along with the movie review. That's what I see happening. So, grand evening to you all. Gratitude to you all. Oh, I will be here again soon. Not sure when, but I got to schedule the other parts of this Halloween series. I have great works to continue to do myself, and I'll be here. I'll be around. Until that time. Until that time, let me get this closing music. I'm working on some things.